Hey. Okay. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hey, y'all. Hey. What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? All right, let's get into this beautiful read today. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Air Frozen. And today I'm reading for the Beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. I have also pinned down my birthday list, so if you feel inclined to get me something, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your immense support. Also, don't forget to grab the copy of this book here. It is called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It was created by me to help and assist the collective with healing and getting out of situations that may have actually made you become stagnant or still. Okay. This book is readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. You won't regret it. Definitely make sure you grab a copy of this book here. And when you do, make sure you do the work inside of the book. Okay. Because it's going to help you. The more you dive deeper into the contents of the book, the more it's going to help you gain a higher or healthier perspective when it comes to narcissistic individuals. Okay. I do also have a group called Wisdom Beyond Wounds as well. So if you're wanting to join us, you're more than welcome to join us. We are on Facebook though. That's where the group is ran. And every day we come together and we speak about, shadows, certain parts and aspects of self that wants or needs help with some healing or assisting with healing here. The only requirement that I ask of you is to ensure that when you do decide to come to the group, that you are very engaged, because the more that you engage, the more you can be helped, if that makes sense. All right, so thank you so much for your immense support. It is truly appreciated. Okay. All right, so let's get into this read here. Channel message is Nature's Wrath. Okay, I'm going to be using a lot of psychological terms and also symbolism in this read. It's all going to make sense. It's all going to come full circle. Okay, so let's get into this read. Again, the channel message here is Nature's Wrath. All right, so when it comes to this narcissistic individual, let me take that back. When nature moves, it doesn't ask for permission. It simply restores balance. And we are in a space or in a time of our life now where there has been a lot of unjust things happening all around us, surrounding us, things of that nature here. Well, things are happening in a very, we'll say, accelerated state where things are starting to get a little bit too out of control when it comes to these narcissistic individuals here. Okay. So with that being said here, there's going to be a lot of order, or more so balance is now starting to become the highlight of our lives here. So if you're on the wrong side of things, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to keep up, or more so to maintain some form of stability surrounding, deceitfulness, being, lying and things of that nature here. Okay. Anything. Also, the same law applies when narcissist disturbs the natural order of truth, integrity, and energy. And this is what narcissistic people stand for. They stand for more so lies, not having any integrity, and they also stand for just siphon or taking away people's energy here. But as I mentioned, because everything is now, playing out in the way that it needs to play out, or it should be playing out here, it is definitely, things are now being balanced here, and you're going to see the difference between the two here. Okay. So the first one is the mirror of nature. So when we say nature's wrath, it's more so nature's wrath surrounds a narcissistic person. It's more symbolic of how universal balance works. Okay. And I'll break that down, of course. Nature represents truth. Nature represents harmony, and nature represents consequence. I'll give an example of truth. What you see in nature is what you get. You can't hide the beauty of nature. You can try as much as you want. You can try to do whatever you need to do here in regards to trying to cover up the true beautifulness or the beauty of nature, but it's going to be very hard for you to do here, if that makes sense. So nature, when you go outside and you walk around or you driving around, you're going to see the actual truth or the beauty of nature here, and that represents a form of truth. Also, when it comes to nature, nature also represents harmony as well too. Everyone else, and when I say everyone, meaning, the animals, the plant life, the fish life, all the other, we'll just say life here, lives in some form of harmony, and that is definitely represented, or you're able to see that as you are going out about in your day-to-day here. An example would be, again, flowers. Let's say you're walking down the block or walking down the street here and you see a slew or a bed of flowers here. When you look at it, you're realizing the harmony that it presents or the harmony that it exudes, if that makes sense. And then also consequence as well too. So nature has its own rules or set of rules, or there's also a form of a universal balance. And if anything or anyone decides to disrupt that balance, well, then nature is going to fight back, or you're going to get some form of a occurrence surrounding the consequence of the action that that person may have taken surrounding, we'll say, messing with nature. And I feel like this is what this narcissistic person has done. They have been they've been or they've been in opposition when it comes to nature here. Nature is more so give a balance, or it is in balance, and these individuals here tend to love to thwart or more so throw off things in a chaotic unbalance or imbalance here. So a narcissist lives in opposition that is built on lies, illusions, and actual self-deception here. So eventually the energy they've disturbed in others and in themselves comes back like a storm. So as I was mentioning yesterday, for you guys, for the one that can resonate, you were the calm before the storm. You were the one that were supposed to come in and to initiate, or more so give the warnings to, help guide them to get out of, this thing that they're in. And they decided not to listen. So they decided to do something else, which is fine. And because they did not take heed to what was given to them, now the storm is here in full effect and they can't get out of the storm here. They're trying to figure out how to stop the storm, how to make the storm cease, or how to get out of the situation. But the only way that they can get out of the situation is if they go through it. Okay. So just like how nature corrects imbalances with storms and fires and earthquakes, and, life corrects narcissistic imbalance through exposure, loss, and chaos. Yes, that's the truth. It's a balance. It's not punishment. It's equilibrium. I be cracking myself. Equilibrium. Yeah. My bad, y'all. Equilibrium. Let me repeat that for real. Just like how nature corrects imbalances with storms and fires and earthquakes and things of that nature here, life corrects narcissistic individuals through exposure, through loss and chaos. It's not punishment, it's equilibrium. So when a narcissistic person feels like they're being punished by what they've done here, is basically just evening the scores or just even out everything here, because in order for the world to live in peace, or in order for someone to live in peace, like you guys here, there has to be some form of a balance here. So things are happening in a way where you are now coming up, or you're in a space of becoming very peaceful or balanced. And then them, on the other hand, they're in a space where they're not able to get out of the thing that they put themselves in. So the next one is the crumbling tree, okay? So think of an image, or imagine an image of a tree that is really distraught or doesn't have any life to it. It's like distraught, stricken in that kind of way. So more so symbolizes the narcissist's emptiness, okay? They feed off of others' energies because they have no source of nourishment. Let me repeat that. Narcissistic individuals love to feed off others' energy because they have no internal source of nourishment. What would be considered an internal source of nourishment when it comes to you guys? Faith, confidence, and self-love. That's just one of many or a few of many. They don't have any of those things here. So when they're trying to replenish themselves or to regenerate themselves, they're not able to do these things, which is why they love to connect with individuals like yourself here. So that way you can do the work for them or more, so they can nourish themselves off of your energy here. So, once the truth is removed, their false identity dries up. Their roots, which consists of lies, manipulation, and control, can't hold them up anymore. So again, think of a tree. Think of a tree in the middle of nowhere, and this tree doesn't have any type of, we'll say, source or nourishment to be able to keep itself in a nourished state. So as you're looking at the tree, all you're seeing is just, dark roots or like dried up roots here. What's happening here, the water of life, you are considered life, as I keep saying to you guys. They're considered more of like the walking dead. I'll break that down, of course. The difference between you and them when it comes to life, you give life. Everything that you do operates from a form of life. You're always able to regenerate yourself. You're always able to keep going and growing and glowing and ascending and evolving. You know what I mean? That's life. Life is always growing in a very positive way. When it comes to them, they're more so of the walking dead here, if that makes sense. Yeah, you might see them physically, like vanity wise, you might see them like walking around, but internally they don't have any life within them. They're very dead within themselves. There's no energy. They feel very depleted. They feel very lethargic, and they feel very dried up here. So in order for them to be able to connect with you, they need that life source or that life energy, if that makes sense, which is you here to keep them going in survival mode. Well, that's not happening anymore, or it cannot happen anymore, because in order for you to be able to live a very prosperous, successful, and thriving life here, you have to let go of the dead ends. It's like clipping your hair, maybe you need to go get a trim, and sometimes when you go to your beautician or your hairstylist here who's going to clip your ends, they tell you, or they try to explain to you why it's very important for you to clip the ends, because if you hold on to anything dead, well then whatever, you know what I mean, it's not going to grow in the way that it needs to grow here. So narcissistic individuals are literally the true epitome of dead weight. That's what they are here. So when it comes to their roots, right, because you're the one initially that were watering their roots, but you didn't realize that you were watering their roots with lies, manipulation, and control. And here's why. As you continuously gave or give to this person here, it made them feel very worthy of continuing to lie, manipulate, and control others. They were getting the source or the energy from you to be able to maintain and to also sustain what they were trying to do to others here. So with that being said, the moment that you disconnected and you stop watering their roots, if that makes sense, if you don't add water to roots to an actual plant, it won't grow. That's basically what I'm saying here, okay? Well, because you didn't give any water, you didn't give them any more life to them or into them here, they stopped growing. They only grew because they were around you. If that makes sense? So, because their roots are not being watered anymore, when now they're starting to fall apart and they look dried out, they look quaily, they look stagnant, they look subpar, they don't look good. Okay, so it's the moment their own behavior catches up with them. No more supply equates to no more image, just collapse. So again, if you are the life, you holding life within yourself, you're living life, you are life. People may say, dang, you give me life. Like, that's a true statement. Have you ever heard someone tell you that? Dang, you give me life, or you are very lively, or whatever the case may be. The moment that you separate yourself from this person or group or whatever, however, here, you're going to see the contrast between night and day here. So the next one here is the storm they create. The storm is both internal and also external. So externally, they cause chaos in relationships, workplaces, and families. Internally, within themselves, their mind becomes the battlefield. So the same confusion and emotional turmoil they create in others begin to haunt them. Every narcissist eventually becomes trapped inside their own storm, which is in their head. Overthinking, becoming paranoid, trying to control what's already falling apart. And that's a very bad place or state to be in. Next one is nature's justice. So even the storm must end. Yes, storms are created or generated, and then storms end. They created a storm, now they're in the middle of the storm, and they have to ride out the storm until the end. The issue here is, yes, they love to create storms, but they don't like to sit in a storm. But as I mentioned before, things are changing in a very positive way, where now they're going to have to take responsibility for the actions that they have decided to take amongst themselves and others here. So with that being said here, hold on, I lost my train of thought. They're now in the middle of the actual storm, or the eye of the storm, if that makes sense. And they feel, because they're in the middle, smack dab in the middle of everything here, they feel like that there's no end to this, or they feel like that there's no escape, or there's no exit for them to come out of this actual storm here. So the next one here is so no matter how destructive, no matter how destructive the storm may be, and I'm talking about an internal storm of the narcissist here, okay? Every storm eventually exhausts themselves. So nature doesn't need revenge. It simply restores order. If you're able to look at the elements of nature, at what point in time do you feel nature is trying to get back at, against, I'll just say us, if that makes sense. It doesn't work that way. Nature comes in to do what it needs to do to keep things in a balanced state. We need rain for the life to continue to thrive and grow. We need the sun to continue to thrive and grow. You know what I mean? Everything has its place or position within nature here that is going to utilize or work in a reciprocal way or matter here to ensure that everything that is around in nature is going to benefit of the reciprocation. And these narcissistic individuals don't like to reciprocate. They just like to create the storms, destroy what they have created, and then just go on and do whatever they can with another person here, and it's not working anymore. So the narcissist experiences this when they lose control of the narrative, when truth starts to surface, and when people they once manipulated begin to see them very clearly. So the wrath is an anger from the universe. It's truth for claiming space. It's truth for claiming space. The next one is the return of energy. Hey, Verna, how you doing, boo? The narcissist downfall isn't random. It's energetically reciprocal, or it's an energetic reciprocation. Everything they put out, lies, envy, betrayal, actually returns to them. So as I mentioned to you guys yesterday, that the world that we live in is very cyclic. It's a cycle. What comes up must come down. What was down is going to come up. What's on the left to you may be to the right of you. Everything is a cycle, okay? You take you take one step forward, you take the next step. Everything's a cycle. You're sitting on a bike, it's a cycle. You're changing the TV, you're using the remote control, it's a cycle. Everything has a beginning, everything has an end, okay? So when it returns, it multiplies because it hits every area of their life: relationship, finances, reputation, and so-called peace. So that's the actual wrath. Not the brimstone, but the revelation, isolation, and the weight of their own actions coming full circle. Let me repeat that. The nature's true wrath of a narcissist is not the actual fire and brimstone, yet they may think that they're in the fire and brimstone because that's a feeling that they may feel, or they're projecting that out to others here. But it's more so the revelation of the truth, the isolation, which puts them, because of the truth that's being spoken, they're in isolation, and the weight of their own actions coming full circle here. So we're having a full circle event, or more so souls. Somebody going to the soul circus? But that's not what I meant to say. We're having a full moment, like that movie, The Lion King, The Circle of Life. Everything starts at the beginning and then it's going to be an end. And we all know, for the ones that saw The Lion King, you knew what happened here. But even though I think it was bittersweet, because the uncle wanted to be the king of the actual jungle, it was actually Simba that actually became the king of the jungle. Again, it was very bittersweet, but things had to happen in that way for a reason here. So I'm going to start off with this deck here in regards to the nature's wrath, but more so is within themselves. It's a cyclic destruction, or a cycle of destruction that they keep putting themselves through. So again, you're riding a bike and you keep pedaling this bike here, if that makes sense. You keep pedaling this bike, and the more that you keep pedaling this bike, or I'll just say a person's pedaling this bike, is creating a cycle of something. It could be a cycle of positivity or a cycle of negativity here. Remember, everything is recycled. Everything that you do has been recycled some way, point in time. But when it comes to these individuals here, all they recycle is just negativity and chaos. So the more they keep using this pedal, or they keep pedaling on this bike here, the more they keep generating chaos within their life. Does that make sense? So it makes it very hard for them to maintain this identity, if that makes sense. They never had an identity because they were using other people's identities to claim as their own. He made them very brave to do the things that they were doing towards others here, but it's not working anymore. And the reason why it's not working anymore here is because, yet again, in this time, in this space here, it is imperative, or more so, yeah, it's very imperative to ensure that you have your own identity, or you discover yourself in regards to your identity as to who you are or who you want to be. It's very important, especially in this time, day and age here, because that's what's going to separate you from the others. All of the hurting, or the sheeples, or the community yes man or yes woman. You need to stay away from those type of individuals here, because they're not able to see out of a wet paper bag. So with identity in reverse here, this narcissistic person never had an identity, and now that you're able to see that they never had an identity here, it's all falling apart in front of your face, and also their face, and the community face here. I love it. Say community. I swear. I swear. A lot of curse come. Hey, y'all. Yeah. So we have community here, and then we have pond. Okay. Pond is very surface level. It's not deep. Like, you can stand in a pond with your 2 feet, if that makes sense. But because it's so surface level here, the community is seeing all the things that they tried to suppress and push to the bottom here is now being pushed to the top. It's like being sifted to the top. Yeah, it's being sifted to the top here. So going back to my notes in regards to nature's wrath here, the narcissist downfall isn't random. It's energetic reciprocity. What they put out is what they're getting back. Again, the cycle. Put one foot forward, put the next foot forward. One step, another step, one step, another step. And all they kept stepping into was destruction and chaos. That's all they kept doing. That's all they kept doing, destruction and chaos. Now, finally, we all celebrate birthdays, all of us. And when I say celebrate, meaning we all grow 1 year older every year. No one can escape that, right? So it takes 365 days. This is on a random normal calendar. It takes 365 days for you to turn another year, right? So with that being said, that's also a cycle as well too. And all they keep doing for the 365 days is continuously putting themselves into destruction and chaos here. So when it comes time for everything to come back full circle, so this is the top of the circle. They're starting off with chaos, day 1. Now we're making our way all the way down. Until we get back up to the 365th day or 364th day. And every day that they have awakened, every day they did nothing but be very chaotic in other people's lives and their own lives. So now that it's coming back full circle, they have to experience what they placed out, and they can't handle it here. So that's the return of the energy. Everything they put out, lies, envy, betrayal, returns to them, but it's magnified or metastasized when it's returned to them. So because it's multiplied when it hits them back, it hits every area in their life. Relationships, that's mainly the first that goes, is the relationship. The finances, the reputation, and peace. Now, the reason why relationships go first, from my point of view and my research of things here, hey Divine, is because they harbor, or they hold on to relationships to help them to be successful with their finances here. So if they don't have the backing of other people to believe their lives here, their finances is going to tank. Yes, because people will be like, no, we can't trust you. You know, you're a liar. You're not You're not honest. You're not who you say you are here. And it's going to put a bad taste in other people's mouth. And they don't need that because those individuals are the one that is paying them the money or making them stay afloat for the money, if that makes sense. So next one will be reputation. So once the relationships go, the finance is going to go. So if no one is rocking with them, no one is supporting them, no one is around them, their finance is going to tank. And then the reputation starts to tank as well too, because most people who were around them were mainly around them for finances, because narcissistic individuals love to portray themselves to be this big something. You know, they come off as rich or wealthy. Maybe they are rich or wealthy, but take it how it resonates. But they're always utilizing their finances to get ahead of the game or get ahead of the curve here. And now that they don't have any finances anymore, their reputation has tanked. And because their reputation has tanked, they don't have any peace. So if you take that away, that don't make them who they claim to be or say to be here, all you're going to see at the end is what they really are: chaotic and destructive. That's it. That's what you're going to see. Hey, Evan. Hey, y'all. Can a leopard change their spots? Can a zebra change the stripes? No, for real though. So we have mushroom here, and it's spreading really quickly amongst their community here. And then we also have subconscious in reverse, but lost upright. So subconscious in reverse tells me that they're not willing or ready to, we'll say, accept defeat. They don't want to accept defeat. They want to keep fighting and arguing with you. We all know we're not going to give that any type of play. We don't give our energy to ragamuffins. We just don't, okay? Me saying all that here, the loss is very profound because the loss is really in the lies. It's not in the truth. They lost because they lied. They didn't lose because they told the truth. They lost. Thank you, boo. They lost because they lied. And in the lie, they got caught up in the lies. You ever heard of loss in the sauce? Well, if you continuously lying about whatever it is that a person's lying here, eventually that person will get lost or caught up in the lies. And that's what's happening here with the subconscious in reverse. They know what they did was wrong, but they're trying to find ways, or they're trying to benefit from losing what they lost, which is really the lies. You can't lose with truth. People want you to see or want you to think or want you to perceive that you'll lose with truth. You can't lose with truth. Again, going back to my notes here. Hold on, I'm talking about the truth of nature. Nature represents truth, harmony, and consequence. That's nature. It's a natural thing. It's like not touch is untouched. So it's going to be, of course, it's going to represent truth. If you see a flower and you don't touch it, you just allow it to be in this beautiful state here, that is the actual truth of that actual flower, if that makes sense. The same with harmony and also consequence. So because you saw the flower and you didn't touch it, you allow it to grow in all of its beautifulness here. You're now able to see it from a different perspective, how harmonizing the actual flower could be for you or towards you here. And the consequence of that is that you're able to actually benefit from allowing this beautiful flower to grow in this essence, if that makes sense. So the outcome for you or the benefit for you here is that you see the I keep saying butterfly. Maybe somebody just saw butterflies or you love butterflies. I can even use butterflies as an example as well too. Let's say you saw a butterfly in its cocoon state and you just left it alone, and you maybe came back a couple days later or weeks later and you saw in all its glory here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to be in awe of that actual butterfly because you're able to see, or you were able to see it from a cocoon state, and now that it has metastasized or transformed into an actual butterfly here, again, it represents the truth, the harmony, and the consequence. The consequence of this butterfly being able to successfully become a butterfly is to leave it alone. Nature should be left alone. It shouldn't be tampered with. It shouldn't be messed with. I consider you guys as nature. If that makes sense, you're very natural in the things that you do. And these individuals here, they don't like naturalness. They don't like anything natural. They prefer artificial. or false things narcissistic individuals do or think that way. So when they see someone like you being very natural in your own nature, your own state, your own environment here, they're going to do everything possible to try to wipe that away or to try to destroy your, again, your truth, your harmony here. And it didn't work. So a narcissist lives in opposition to or what is built on lies, illusions, and self-deception. So eventually the energy that they placed out or the energy they've disturbed in others and in themselves come back like a storm, like a wrecking ball, like a storm or a wrecking storm that they can't maintain or they can't handle. So while they're in the midst of the storm, because they're currently in the midst of the storm here, they're trying to figure out ways to leap out of the actual storm that they created. The only way that they can get out of this storm is if they ride through the storm. That's it. And it's fated to happen in that way. Someone's name is Candace or Connie or Contra or Conrad. Conrad, Cassandra, Kenny. I'm hearing Fort Knox, Port Arthur, Port Arthur. I'm also hearing the name McGinnis, McGinnis, McGinnis. Maybe you like Guinness Bear. Maybe you're trying to get into the Guinness World Record. Maybe you will be, however it resonates, okay? Somebody is pregnant and don't know. You won't know until it's time to give birth. That keeps coming up. All right, let's keep moving forward. Someone's name is Patricia or Patrick or Patty Patterson, Patterson, or Patterson, Pattinson. So take that how that resonates. I'm also hearing Albertsons, okay? So this was fated for this, we'll say, conundrum to happen here because they created the conundrum. When it comes to narcissistic individuals here, they will create, but they won't have the ending to the actual thing that they create or the problem that they create. So they always think that the problem that they create is going to end, but it only ends from their perspective, how they perceive life. It ends with the person that they leave the baggage or the drama or the trauma with, which will mean you here. So they create the chaos for you, leave the chaos with you, and expect for you to get out of the situation. And yeah, you ain't doing that shit no more. Could be a mother figure, however it resonates. It's blowing up in your face here. The future is in reverse. There's no future for them because their fantasy no longer exists, or the fantasy can no longer maintain or hold up in their, their mind here. Fantasy is in reverse. Thank you. It's a lot of back pedaling, a lot of back pedaling that is happening now in regards to, I didn't say that, that's not true, but they're quick to always have some form of a screenshot or text message or something like that to show to others here that they were so-called supposedly telling the truth. And even though they showed these, we'll say, screenshots or text messages towards other people here, it was still a lie. They really dug their own grave, literally and figuratively. They did. They literally dug their own grave. And that's funny. So Chad states on TikTok, and they are mad. Oh, well, how they going to be mad at what they created for themselves? Let's make that make sense. So if they truly are mad, shouldn't they be mad at themselves because they're the one that created it? You see how one-sided it is? Like, truthfully, do you see how one-sided it is? They're mad at you when they should be mad at you because you didn't create the conundrum. They did. You didn't create the volcano or the explosion. They did, if that makes sense. They revealed their hand because they don't know how to sit still on their hands. They are the one that destroyed themselves. It say wings, yeah. So Somebody could be drinking Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. You could be drinking. Okay, if you're drinking a lot of Red Bull, I'm not a doctor by any means. I'm just intuitive, okay? Just be mindful of the amount of, that you chugging back, all right? That's all I'm saying. You may have like an enlarged heart or something with the heart. So if you are excessively drinking like those energy drinks, just be mindful, okay? Someone's name is Appleton or Apple. We have history here. History repeats itself until it stops. History repeats itself until the truth is discovered. Or history repeats itself until the truth is discovered. History repeats itself until the truth is being shown. You are the truth. And the truth is being shown. So because the truth is being shown, history is not going to repeat itself again. Now you have created a whole new cycle. Yes, we all go through many different cycles. You're going to take that how that resonates for you. But when it comes to the cycles that you create, you can either stay in a cycle, a worn out, tired, patternized cycle of destruction, or you can completely ditch that, create a whole new cycle. So it's like you're on a roller coaster and there are like 2 tracks that's coming up, or you're on a train ride and there are 2 tracks coming up, and you have to decide which track you're going to take to ensure that you're able to continue to move forward. Well, let's just say that the track on the right hand side has like a what do you call it, like a sign or basically saying that you can't go any further there, if that makes sense. Like this is the furthest this train will go. But on the left hand side, you see that that track is completely open, but it may be covered by a couple of things, meaning that you're not able to see up ahead, but you're allowing your faith or your confidence or your belief to guide you to take the path towards the left. And you decided to take the path towards the left here. And the moment that you get past all of the, we'll say, debris or all the trees, because remember, this is a storm, okay? And I'm speaking spiritually. This is a storm. You were able to get out of the storm. And after you got out the storm, now you're seeing all the beautiful sun, the birds chirping. You're seeing the rainbow at the end of the, you know what I mean? At the end of the sky, things of that nature here. The history, you have ended history with truth. You have spoke your truth and you have completely ceased it. So because you spoke truth, it's like you raised up everything that was being hidden or submerged, and it's being placed in front of everyone to see. And this is what they don't like here. They don't like the fact that you kept going back in history or going back in time, because again, history is where the truth is. That's where truth is buried. And they don't want you to know the truth about what they were trying to do towards you. Yes, and the reason being is because it made them powerless, but it made you powerful. Remember, it's a balance. It made you powerful and made them powerless. It made them feel stuck within themselves, and it made you feel free within yourself. They said they were speaking truth, but the moment that the truth showed up, they froze in time. Literally, they froze in time. Why is that? Why is it that when you speak truth, that you feel free? Why is that? They heard the truth, they froze in time. You spoke the truth, you felt free, you release yourself. Does that make sense? The true power lies in the truth of who you are. That's where the true power lies. That's going to resonate for however it needs to resonate for you guys. But real power, real freedom, real truth lies within you. That's why you're being set free, because the truth is within you. People can say they speak, oh, I speak the truth, yeah, yeah, that's the truth. And you be like, okay. Right. And then when you realize it's not the truth, oh, well, now they're trying to turn back the hands of time. You see how all this makes sense? Full circle. They're trying to regress, or they're trying to recalibrate history with lies. You can't do that. How not? You can't do that. You're going to have a very hard time trying to place lies with history, if that makes sense. The truth is in the history. That's why it keeps repeating itself. Why do I keep going through the same problem or the same issue or the same experience or the same cycle over and over and over again? Because you have not learned the lesson yet. That's why. That's the truth. Because you haven't quite not yet learned the lesson in regards to the experience that you could be encountering or you are experiencing at that time. To get out of that cycle of history of, chaos here, you have to learn the truth as to why that is happening in the way that it's happening. And the moment that you do is the moment you're going to feel free. So when people say that they speak truth and the truth finally shows up and they become very, they get stuck, it's like they don't know what to do with themselves. Clearly, because they weren't prepared for the truth to ever be discovered. So power is in reverse. Truth propels you to be more free or become free with yourself. That's how you create endurance within yourself. Okay, I know the truth of this. All right. Yep. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want to stay away from that person, place, or thing. I want to do this for myself. It's going to propel you, or it's going to continue to help you to create endurance, and it's going to help you to become more free. What's your question? This is why they feel betrayed by you. Oh, well. They feel betrayed by you because you have the power to speak the truth that is within yourself. And that's the shocker. That's the shocker here. The shocker here is that you set yourself free with truth. That's the shocker. You could be shocked by this, and they could be shocked by this. They're shocked to the fact that you saw it for what it was, and you were able to pass through it. That's what they're shocked about. And I feel for the ones here, for the ones that resonate, you are shocked by this because you never thought that this was going to end, and it finally did. Like I mentioned, some of you guys have been through this chaotic cycle for many years, even decades, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years. You know what I mean? And it was strategically done to waste down your time, or to waste your time, or to waste your life away. It's like they felt good to imprison you within yourself because they needed you to imprison you. That makes sense? Yeah, bad attitude. Now they're huffing and puffing and trying to figure out how to not be so guilty. Because they brought a lot of shame to themselves. Not only themselves, they brought a lot of shame to their connections, their relationships. They brought a lot of shame to their finances, their reputation, and also their peace. Step away. And that's exactly what you did. You stepped away from the social conditioning that they wanted to place you in. They wanted you to live life their way or the highway. You're like, okay, well, there's the highway. I mean, we all have choices, and they gave you a choice. It's either my way or the highway. And you're like, all right, well, fuck your way. So you took the highway, and they're completely shocked by that. You literally stepped away or step aside to this social conditioning that they wanted you to follow. And you're like, F your social conditioning. Why does anyone need to be socially conditioned? Let's break that down. What is social conditioning? Social conditioning is when you are around others here. Just hear me out. When you are around, let's say, a group of people or a cluster of people here that may have one type of mentality, and it could be very low vibrational or high vibrational. But in this instance, this is social conditioning. More than likely, it's a low vibrational thing, or the mindset is not where it needs to be. So you have a cluster of individuals that think the same, that act the same, that do the same thing here, and they're not receiving anything good or positive out of the situation, if that makes sense. So the moment that you step aside or you ex-nay or you disconnect from the conditioning of from you being socially conditioned here, it starts to raise their antennas, or their hair starts to stand up on their nasty, mucky body here to try to figure out why you're not following what they're trying to get you to follow here. That makes sense? That's social conditioning. They socially want to condition you as to how other people perceive, other people, places, or whatever. However, it's like an example would be, let's say you want to go to Italy for the first time. You've never been. And you had a conversation prior to someone that has never been to Italy as well. And you're telling them, oh yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm getting ready to go on my Italy trip, and it's going to be so this and that. And here comes the Debbie Downer or the Debbie Dan. Go talk about something. Well, why you want to go to Italy? Well, I heard it was such and such. Well, I heard it's this, and you need to be careful of this. You need to be careful of that. And you're like, have you ever been to Italy before? And the first thing they're going to say, well, no. Well, if they've never been anywhere before, how is it that they can give you a succinct answer or explanation in regards to a place that they've never experienced before? Make it make sense. No, I cannot, boo. This is a collective read. If you would like for me to read into your own personal energy, you're going to have to book a reading, okay? This is a collective read that I always say over and over and over again, all right? Right now, you disturbing me, so I'm going to keep moving forward. So anyways, with social conditioning here, they wanted to socially condition you to see life through their own lens, through their own glasses, through their own terms, if that makes sense. And no, it's not going to work. So this is why they have a bad attitude, and you're bringing forth a lot of shame, because people are realizing and seeing that you're very different, but more so different in your own way, on your own terms, and other people are seeing that. So more people are seeing that, and more people want to start to be like how you're operating in, if that makes sense, yourself. Hey, Bemba. More and more people are going to start to get out of this social conditioning of life here, and more people are going to start to get into their authenticity of self. So we have energy drain here, and then we also have naive. So because they were naive to the natural, we'll say natural handsomeness or the natural beauty that you have within yourself here, they drained themselves to the end. They sure did, because they made it their life's mission to ensure that they eat, sleep, and breathe you and research you to figure out all of everything that makes you you, if that makes sense here. And at the end of it, they just drained themselves. Not only that, they drained the social conditioning, or more so the social individuals that they were around. They also drained them too. How did they drain others here? Well, they got other people on board surrounding social conditioning, if that makes sense. Well, yeah, you should have, yeah, and we should have towards the collective, and you should have, and they did like sheeples. They came around, they did what they did here, and that person was actually taken from them as well too, unbeknownst to them. So everybody lost, if that makes sense. You won. You the big dog in there. You the big dog, but they lost. They the little dogs. You always been the big dog. We have ancient history here, okay, child? Yeah. You always came with some heat, boo. And you know that saying, if it's too hot, get the hell out the kitchen. I mean, why the hell would you be standing in somebody's kitchen and it's hot as hell? Because they want to be, they want to be amongst and things. They want to be around you. They want to figure out what they can do and what they can say and all different types of things. It's just not working here. That's the unspoken truth. Hold on, let me drink my tea. Anywho, we have unseen here. I actually like that. So Stamp States on Instagram, they lost face. We can break that down a bit. They lost face. What kind of face did they really lost or lose? When people see another person, they identify that person with an actual how they look, if that makes sense. And this narcissistic person did not have a face or an identity as to how they look. It were many different masks that they were always propelling through. And once you were able to pull back all of pull back all the layers in regards to the mask that they had, and put it this way, these are individuals that don't like to shower, they don't like to take care of themselves, things of that nature, and they would have these different type of masks on. It's like kind of like peeling back the layers, but it's so nasty and icky because when you finally get to the last mask and you're finally seeing them in their true nature here, they don't look good. They don't look clean, if that makes sense. Their energy is not clean. Their spirit is not clean. Their body is not clean. Like just all across the board. And you can actually probably smell them as well too. Ooh. Some of them are very lustful. And when they're intimate with other people, they don't shower themselves. They don't take care of themselves. So they smell real musty and foul after they're intimate with other people. I mean, there are many different types of smells that Hey, I've been researching like a mother when it comes to this subject. Hey, they got some unclean spirits on them. I'll say that, child. Ooh, Lord. Because they make them do a lot of unclean stuff. Listen, this is a collective read. So my moderators on here, if there's anyone asking me in regards to any personal things, can you just go ahead and block them? Okay, let me say this one more time. And this is my last time, last warning. This is a collective read. Not everything that I mentioned to you is going to resonate. Take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? I am not answering any personal questions surrounding what you have going on. If you want me to answer any of your personal questions, that is what the booking is for, okay? If you don't want to book, then I don't know what else to tell you. Sit in meditation, pray, figure it out. But that's how we do things over here, okay? I don't want to be disturbed. So, final warning, mods, if you see them, block them, okay? We got red flag here. Okay, red flag is here. Because of the unspoken truth that you spoke here, it brought forth a lot of red flags for them. Because you were even able to see outside of the blind spot here. They thought they had a spot blinded from you or for you here, but they did not. And it just created a grudge against you. That's all they did. Oh, well. Someone's eating salmon or you love salmon. Or you could be eating some kind of fish. Hey, Brian. We have class clown. Yeah. We have... Imagine a clown holding a grudge against you. And they look just like how they act. They look like a clown, child. Got the nerve to hold a grudge against you. What? Because they promiscuous. Make it make sense, man. They just don't. Let me pull my petty deck out, you know? Someone's eating grapes, so you love grapes, so you could be making your own grapes or growing your own grapes, or you could be making wine, however it resonates. You know what? I'll take that. So Chad states on TikTok, they don't know how to, well, you said juggle. I was going to say judge, but yeah, you're right. They don't know how to juggle. They don't. And they also don't know how to judge. They really don't, because their judgment, or the way that they judge others, is really severely impaired or severely flawed in the way that they judge others here. And when everything is out in the open for people to see, it's like, oh, whoa, wait, you judge the collective, but the collective is doing well. The collective is this, the collective is that. And I'm like, well, why would you say that about the collective? Well, man, you don't know what I'm talking about. Man, that ain't true. Like, it just, yes. Cassie states on TikTok, projections, they're very hypocritical. I think that's what projections are. Absolutely. I do agree with you. They're very hypocritical, specifically when they are projecting onto you. I agree. I do. 100% I do. And this is why they're toxic as hell. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and cold-hearted. Imagine being cold-hearted and toxic here. And their cold-heartedness of their toxicity is destroying their life or destroying themselves. Somebody going to jail, child. Okay? It could be a mental thing or a physical jail. Let's see. Tell me more about the mental jail. Tell me about the mental jail. Suspicious, need to compromise, misunderstandings, and arguments, anxious about your relationship. So there's a wedding ring here. Someone's getting married here. Okay? Or someone wants to propose to you. I feel like if you pop out married or pop out propose, it's going to make a lot of people sick. So that's the mental part. Let's talk about the physical part. Someone feels like you're in a relationship or a new dynamic here, and they feel like that you are hiding that because you're not paying them any. So someone is like really anxious to see who you're talking to, who you're dating, or who you are, you know. And it's none of their damn business, child. If you are dating or if you are in a connection, it's nobody's damn business what you do. What you do is what you do, okay? Tell me about the physical jail. We have lost in home, fortune, or finances. Love not being reciprocated, breakup, emotional baggage, and miscommunication. Interesting. So there's a lot of fighting and arguing surrounding money here, behind the scenes here. Someone has lost their home. Love is not being reciprocated. They never had love, so it was never reciprocation to begin with. There's a lot of breakup that's happening, and I feel like someone could be going to jail for like domestic abuse or some form of violence here. Then we also have turmoil and chaos, emotional stress, fallout with family or friends, loss, plans are at a standstill, or destruction. So it seems like this narcissistic person is trying to get people to see their point of view or their ways here, and people are actually wanting to like physically, you know, that makes sense. Hopefully you catch my drift. So someone is going to end up in jail. It could be attempted red rum. It's getting deep. It could be attempted red rum on the narcissist, or the narcissist, baby, they're not in a good space. They're not in a good space. They're not in a good space. Yeah, and they're asking for help or soon to be asking for help. It's very sad. Some kind of debacle or fight or argument is breaking out here in regards to them lying on you, and someone may put hands on this narcissist, or this narcissist may put hands on the person that's coming towards them. But there's going to be some form of a physical fight. You're going to be learning about this. Yep. It's going to be some kind of a physical fight here. And somebody may, you know, somebody gonna go to jail for that. Just we got spiritual message here. Yeah, someone may go to jail for that. Yeah. Wow. Love is in reverse. So it seems like here, oh, we get to nitty gritty today. Okay, Spirit. It seems like this narcissistic person may have had a love interest. The love interest was aware about you here, and the love interest is not happy that this narcissistic person wants to come back towards you. That makes sense as to why they're trying to figure out who you are dealing with or connecting with, if that makes sense. And since they're not able to figure out if you are in a connection, because some of you guys might not even be in a connection, it really doesn't matter because none of their business. But anywho, they're not getting the insight or intel that they thought they would be receiving when it comes to you here. So it's putting a strain on the person that they're currently with or were with here. And I feel like this person may cause some form of a physical something where someone is going to be in jail. Okay. Y'all know Lorena Bobbitt, right? Look her up if you don't. That's the secret. So what the get out of here. We got secrets and physical pain, child. Someone has an STD here and they're really upset about this STD that they have here, and they feel guided to Lorena Bobbitt somebody. Hey, baby, baby. They feel guided. This is crazy. Somebody could be 15 years old. A 15-year-old could be witnessing this. Somebody could be 29. Somebody could be 28. You could be born in 92 or 82 or 51, however it resonates. Someone could be born in 41. Someone could be age 41. Someone could be age 3 or age 4 or 34 or 43 or 14. So take that take them numbers how it resonates. They want to reunite with you, but it's not possible. It's not going to happen here. Yeah, message of guidance is in reverse. They're trying to reunite with you to get them out of this trouble here, but they have trouble behind their back. So this is not a good space to be in, or a good space for you to take them back here. They're going through exactly what they put. I'm going back to my damn notes, child. Okay. The narcissist's downfall isn't random. It's energetic reciprocity. Everything they put out, lies, envy, betrayal, it finally returns. But when it returns, it's multiplied because it hits every area of their life: relationship, finances, reputation, and peace. So the person that they're with or they were entertaining here, they felt led on, or they felt like they were just there to kind of like, supposedly size you up. Well, why would you be sized up? Well, why would you get upset over filth or trash? This is bedazzled trash. It is what it is. And this narcissist wanted you to pine over bedazzled trash. To me, that doesn't make sense. It's still going to stink. So why are you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to be up in arms surrounding bedazzled trash here. So when they realized that you weren't entertaining their foolishness here, the person that they're with here, they got very angry, very irate, because this person is so enthralled with your life here that they're trying to bring forth some form of reunion, and it's not working here at all. Someone's name is Anita, Monica, Mason, Mitchell, Michael, Michelle. Someone's from Michigan. Yeah, look, you, sir. Yes. Dang. Somebody's making a taco salad, or you love taco salads. You may love Qdoba, or you maybe went to Qdoba. You could be from Chicago. Perfectionist is in reverse. It's not working out. They're not being shown or seen as the perfectionists that they thought that they were. They didn't perfect anything. Or maybe they did. They did perfect chaos. Yeah, they did for themselves. So yeah, I guess we could say that. Sudden changes are here. All right. Someone's losing a house. Someone's losing a house and they're wanting to set this home ablaze for money. Oh, Lord, child. Somebody getting ready to lose a home and they don't have any money, and they feel that if they, they set arson to it. So this is some really odd shit. Yeah, somebody's getting ready to gamble with their home here, or place, or apartment, or something like that. That ain't gonna work out for them. We'll just say it that way. That ain't gonna work out well for them at all. Yeah, anxiety. Abort ship is in reverse. My God. They're gonna be in even deeper trouble. My God. Love, baby. Yes, because they, baby, come on, talk to me, spirit, homeless and burnt out. Yes. They don't want to be on the street. They don't want to be on the street. My God. They're burnt out by not having money. They're burnt out by their lovers leaving them. They're burnt out by their reputation. And they feel like the only way that they can revitalize themselves is through finances or money here. Yeah, this person is considered untrustworthy here. Very untrustworthy. So right now, this may not have happened yet, so take it how it resonates. They're trying to come up with some form of like an alibi right now with a friend, or the last friend that they may have, or a friend. So a friend is aware as to what is happening. This ain't gonna end well, baby. Woo. You could be from Louisiana, baby. Yeah, they're plotting right now, trying to figure out how they can get money, or how to get quick money here, because they're unemployed, or they may have been fired recently. Everything just coming out. They're just emotionally exhausted here. They ain't doing well at all. We also have pray in reverse. Yeah, this is not good for them. Trust the process is here. They think no one will know what they're trying to do here. And they're just going to make matters worse. So not only are they going to jail for red rum, they're going to jail for arson as well too. It could be child neglect as well. It's a lot that's happening. That's your good news though. Okay? That person's bad news is your good news. And it's going to be too much for them to handle or take, because now they're addicted to things. So they may be having some form of alcohol addiction or paraphernalia addiction to escape what they have done. Could be a Taurus, however it resonates. Yeah, ooh, with a candle. God damn it. I don't even know if I should be reading this. What the hell? We got impulsive Capricorn on the down low, shocking message. Yeah, someone is going to set something ablaze for money. Impulsive Capricorn, down low, shocking message. And they're going to come off shocked as if nothing happened here, but they set their home ablaze with a candle here to get money, insurance money, and it's not going to work. What? It say evict. Come on, it say eviction and narcissist. Yeah, somebody is losing a home or an apartment or something here. And this is when people are really, really, really going to see who this person truly is. There's a secret lover. They're not a secret anymore. So it seems like the secret lover may have left this person because they don't have money or finances. You're going to get strong confirmation surrounding that with a message is coming here. You know all of what's happening here because, you know, your spirit or your intuition tells you what's what here. Yeah, they're trying to get money and they're not going to get it here. They're in a heap of a mess. Sucks to be them. Sucks to be them. We have Cancer here. And we also have legal matters. They're going to be in a heap of legal matters. Oh, well. They are so afraid that people see them as broke. They are broke. They're broken inside. So that's what they exude. They are afraid that people see them as broken. I mean, too late. If we take away the finances part, the financial part about this, they don't have any wealth. They don't. No communication. They're depressed. Could be a Pisces. What else? There's some trauma surrounding this, sexual trauma around a Pisces, pregnancy, sexual trauma, pregnancy. Is this grape? Because why would there be sexual trauma surrounding a pregnancy? What the fuck is this? Maybe you dodged a bullet with this person. This person's in a whole heap of a mess. There's some grape, inappropriate activities. There's someone that's pregnant surrounding this trauma. Is a arsonist here, a red rubber. This person's in a lot of a mess. They in a lot. They in a lot of a mess. They in a lot of a mess. My God. We got bad luck here. Hey, I'm good. How you doing? Could be a Sagittarius. So we have Cancer, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and what was the other sign I said? This was a twin flame of yours. Not an actual true, like a true love. They were a twin flame. So twin flames are here to teach you lessons. And this person is completely broke. The weight of the world is coming down on them, which is making them very confused. Because it's like, how are you able to move forward here? You're not broken. You're not down and out. But they're going through what they're going through here. This is what they're not able to differentiate, or they're not able to understand or comprehend here. Because they can't manifest anything. They're in a halt. Like a life halt, a spiritual halt, H-A-L-T. They can't move forward, and they're trying to get out of this cycle of destruction. They can't. pull from my, this is financial failure is here. Let me pull from my Oracle deck and see what's what. Let's see. Or sorry, my tarot deck, not Oracle. Tell me more about the financial failure. We got Judgment here in the Star. What is this? And then we have the Seven of Swords here. So they feel judged. They're caught red-handed because they were judged. And then you also have Seven of Cups here, missed opportunity. Yeah, they missed the opportunity to get themselves together. They really did. We have the Star here. You are the star of the show, or you are the star of everything, or just the star of all of this here. So like you're free to go. You can rebuild and revamp and do what you need to do here. Oh, Lord, child, what is this? We have 10 of Wands here. Yeah, you are aware that this person is really, like, severely struggling. You could be a high priest or high priestess, or you're just aware. But you're fully aware that this person is truly struggling here, okay? Hey, this person wants to release all the sticks, so they don't want to hold these wands anymore. They don't want to be responsible for what they've done. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they lost a lot of money. They lost everything. They did, coming against you. Wow. Sure did. Someone's name is Peter. Oppenheimer? Oppenheimer? Someone's name is Oscar or Auster or Astaire, A-S-T-A-I-R or A-S-T-A-I-R-E or Auster or Austin. Auspicious is what I'm also hearing. Like these are auspicious times. What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gonna have, not you, somebody gonna have to prepare for a funeral, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep, they're inside their head. They don't want to go to jail. They don't even want to think about going to jail, but they're doing things that can put them in jail. It's too many swords here. 3 of Swords, 8 of Swords. The Chariot is in reverse, and the Tower here. Yeah. I want to end this here because, yeah, this person may... Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my face expressions is like, yeah. Yeah. This person may cease themselves. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much to bear. It's too much. They got too much going on. Grape, a possibility of a pregnancy or an unwanted pregnancy. There is arson, premeditated surrounding you. It's a lot. Then you got Page of Cups here with bad news. It's like bad news after bad news after bad news here. When it comes to them Page of Cups, you're going to hear about this person's funeral. Because this person can't get out the past here with the 6 of Cups. Yo, what is this? A lot of people going to be shocked by this. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Ooh. Wow, Spirit. So we got Sacrifice or the Hangman here. Yeah, this person's going to, yeah, cease. Okay, I'm done. That's too much. They're going to cease to exist on their own terms, if you catch my drift. We got Leo here. Take that how that resonates, y'all. Oh, Lord, y'all. Ooh, let me get off this energy. We have Libra. Ooh, Lord, y'all. Cancer. We have Aquarius. Capricorn. Gemini. Hey, and I have to say it. I gotta say it. Listen. Oh, Lord, y'all. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Capricorn, you're going to hear about this person's transitioning. You're going to feel like a weight has been lifted off of you. Hey, I'm just a messenger. We got Sagittarius, Scorpio, Pisces. Well, if that resonates with you guys, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab a copy of your book here, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, ready, available for purchase on Amazon. Also, make sure you get into the group if you're interested. All I ask is that you engage within the group, okay? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the tips, donations, and also taking a look at my birthday list. It is truly appreciated. You are appreciated. Go out there and do something great for yourself. I don't care how small or minute it is. Go out there and be great, because this here, that's a thing of the past. You don't have anything to worry about when it comes to this. I'm telling, hey, you're going to feel like a weight has just been, because you're going to feel you don't have to deal with this person. Oh, Lord, child. All right, it's getting dark. All right, love you guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, baby. See you soon.